4.
Do a little bit of restraint.
Ryan, come on back. And the couple by the bar walk towards us, cross.
Oh boy, but we have more offensive on the Justin Baldoni team. He has released a full 12-minute footage of him and Blake Lively on the set to try to dispute one of the claims that was made by Blake Lively and her team. Now, for those of you guys who are like, listen, I'm like in the middle, but I'm getting pulled left, right, I don't know who to believe, maybe take my approach. Just chill, watch what's happening, you know, be like the nosy neighbor who's vacuuming the sidewalk, okay? Because you're just trying to figure out what is going on, who's in the wrong, who's in the right, and honestly, I think it's just too soon. I know there's a lot of people who strongly feel like they are team Justin Baldoni, most of you guys, and then there are people who feel like they're team Blake Lively, some of you guys. But I think there's just so much information that we just don't have. I think it's okay. I think it's prudent to wait until, you know, we find out more stuff. For me, I'm like, I think we need to have the trial because we're getting all these documents where we're not even on the same or similar page. We are just straight up to saying, no, the other party is lying. So I don't know. I guess we see it all the time, right? Like when you have a complaint, when you have a lawsuit or a police affidavit, and you're like, damn, this looks really fucking bad. And then when the trial happens, you're like, huh, wow, that side really fucking exaggerated, didn't they? It's not as bad as it sounded or the way that it's represented. So that's the issue that I have with both sides. It seems like one party would take something, really exaggerate to try to either get the reader to side with them. But I feel like a lot of us are smart enough to know that we don't like to feel like we're being lied to or we're being exaggerated to. Like on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. So Blake Lively saying that Baldoni is the one that did not act in character. Let's see who doesn't act in character first. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward, slowly dragged his lips from her ear and neck down her ear as he said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script. Nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively. I know it says Mr. Lively, but I think they meant Miss Lively. Ryan Reynolds, I didn't hear, okay? With his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to his behavior, Mr. Baldoni, who the fuck wrote this? Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." So, not gonna lie, when I first read this, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of bad. Sounds a little bit creepy. Was it not in the script? Was he improvising? Maybe he was improvising. Maybe that's what actors and actresses do. However, when we look at the scene, a lot of this seemed to have really been taken out of context. Okay, so again, this is the Blake Lively lawsuit. Miss Lively's complaint alleges that during a scene, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming for a slow dancing montage. Mr. Baldoni was behaving inappropriately. So I want you guys to watch this video and let me know if you think he was behaving inappropriately. The following videos captured on May 23rd, 2023 clearly refute Miss Lively's characterization of his behavior. The scene in question was designed to show the two characters falling in love and longing to be close to one another. Both actors are clearly behaving well within the scope of the scene and with mutual respect and professionalism. These are all 3 takes filmed of the sequence. So I'm assuming there's no other takes. We're going to take their word for it that there isn't a 4th take out there floating around or anything like that. Blake's team just asked for a gag order. Wow, as she is scrambling. Oh, are they asking for a gag order so Baldoni doesn't release anything else in the future? I mean, honestly, it's... If your reputation was at stake and you wanted to clear it right away and not wait for the couple of years later down the road for a trial to happen or, you know, court documents to be released, I can understand why people want to kind of just start release the evidence now so the public can just really get their opinions on it. I get that. But man, Blake Lively has responded. We'll get to the end, I guess. You watch the video, I would feel uncomfortable as a married woman, but I'm not an actor that signed up for the job of acting. LOL. All right. So this is part of the scene. I wish we had this whole script, though, for this. I don't know. It'd be kind of nice. So I think that means, like, exterior of the bar, it's nighttime. Lily and Ryle slow dance in the bar. Patrons around them drinking and watching sports, completely in their own world.
And I felt it there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, that's all they're supposed to
Get ready, everyone. talking, you're at the bar, something's on the screen. You
And
turn
can you give us a couple cues of like they score? Just so everyone else around us is having a
Sure.
moment.
But is it as rambunctious as it was earlier on?
No, it's never going to be because we're in slow-mo. But just they're watching, people are watching games. We see some, just some hands and things like that. Yeah, thank you.
Ready, and everybody good? And playback. Background. And camera.
So I'm going to pause it. Oh, gosh. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if this is going to be watchable on YouTube because they're talking over the music and the music is going to, it's going to, the stream is not going to like the music. We'll do our best, okay?
I may not always love you. As long as there are stars above you.
Oh, okay.
You never
He's leaning in for a kiss a little bit.
Ryan, go to the bar. Ryan, go to the bar.
So that's already twice already that she's engaged the breaking out of character where, yes, they are filming this montage, but she's like, oh, hey, she's giving him directives. So I can understand why maybe it's really confusing is, are we in fucking character or are we not? Are we in character and then are we also having conversation about how to direct this scene? I mean, it seems like on her complaint, she would have already been comfortable around here, maybe. Maybe she felt uncomfortable that he was leaning in. He was like kind of like putting his nose around her face and then like kind of like maybe like caressing her, slowly kissing her. I don't know what he was doing. We can't really see. But maybe she made the suggestion like, hey, instead of this, maybe we should just talk because, all this here is not part of the scene. But I don't fucking know. I don't know. He could just be improvising. He could just be like, oh, hey, I think it'd be really cool to do this. And maybe he didn't tell her. I don't fucking know. Hey, Beta. So I don't know if like when he's like leaning in towards her neck area, if that is making her feel uncomfortable and she's just rolling with it, or during this time, if she didn't care.
Score? Can we do a score? A couple scores? While we're yeah, great.
And they score!
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's like a difference in opinions here. So he says, no, I just got lost. I don't know if him caressing her was not part of the scene. And she's like, hey, let's just stick to the talking. Like, stop caressing me and let's just stick to the talking. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. I just got lost. I just got, maybe he was just like really into the scene and stuff like that. But I mean, overall, it's like we're filming for a scene. It's acting. I guess, what is protocol? What is protocol? Like how much of improv when it's like romantic stuff is okay versus how much is not okay? Like what is the protocol? What do people normally do on set? And then also he is like a new young director, maybe on the set of when he was like on, the Jane the Virgin set. Maybe they did a lot of improv and that was okay. But maybe to Blake Lively, she's not used to dealing with someone who does a lot of improv for romance stuff. And she's like, oh, this is not okay. I don't know.
We have no issue talking most of the time. They're never gonna find out.
And they win!
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
Staring, you just stare.
literally we've done it for like 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and like
When I
time.
found a sociopath.
So in Baldoni's lawsuit, when he was just like, oh yeah, staring at each other, like you guys were psychopaths or sociopaths. I forgot what they said Blake Lively said. Sociopath. the way that they represented it made her seem like she was kind of like being mean to him, but it seems like they're having a normal, casual conversation. And he's like, oh yeah, like even you would think that like it's probably like, you know, what did he say? I think you would find it terrifying. And then she's like, oh, haha, she's laughing. And then she's like, oh yeah, like, you know, oh no, I found a sociopath. But I mean, it just seems like things are pretty light. They're joking with each other. I wish on both sides on their lawsuits, they would kind of just stick with what really happened instead of like putting things out of context and making things look worse than it really is. Because when we get to watch this, we're like, oh, well, it wasn't really that bad, right? Lively's later complaint sheds light on what this point was alluding to in the demand, which at the time was baffling, and upon review of the film evidence is unequivocally based on a lie. So they have the video on hand, but here's my question. Does Team Blake Lively also have these footages as well? Or was she trying to recall from memory and she was just maybe possibly incorrect? I mean, if she was the one who at some point ended up editing the video, I would assume that her team would have access to these footages. I don't know, maybe they don't anymore. Production was filming a romance montage of Lily and Ryle on their date. One of the producers played music to set the mood so the characters could slow dance. Lively, consistently unable to take direction, insisted she really liked the idea of the characters constantly talking because, as she described, she and her husband like to keep talking and talking and talking. Baldoni, her director, and the film's assistant director, who was directing the scene, disagreed. In an attempt to encourage her to take his direction, Baldoni offered up what he and his wife often just looked into each other's eyes silently, to which she responds, like sociopaths, and laughed. Baldoni laughed and shook it off, while Lively once again started talking about how her and her husband can't not talk. Baldoni said, I think that's cute, and complimented the couple, to which Lively responded, I think it's more than cute.
And then time stops.
Yeah.
But like, that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my God, there's not enough time.
Oh.
And they score again.
No.
Again.
It's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you something else.
No, I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want to comment on this part right here. Again, I have to interrupt this because I don't know the music and all that stuff. When I initially read about this, I was thinking is Blake Lively just really sensitive about her relationship? Did she think that Justin Baldoni was trying to downplay her relationship by being like, oh yeah, it's cute? And she's like, well, it's actually more than cute. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if she's annoying like that, or if she thinks in her mind that Justin Baldoni isn't interested in her, that he's trying to hit on her, and that he's trying to say that oh yeah, you and Ryan Reynolds, oh yeah, I guess that's cute. And she's like, no, it's more than cute. I don't know if she thinks that Justin Baldoni is trying to creep on her, and that she's just trying to reset the boundaries by letting her know that no, my husband and I are really cute, and that maybe to show that she's really in love with her husband. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that here. I don't see that at all here. It seems like this is professional. They're filming. It seems like they're bantering. It's light amongst each other. I don't know.
No. It's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you something else.
No, I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then let's just do one almost super close.
Yeah.
Can you guys frame up on the?
I don't know. He seems pretty professional to me. So he's telling her okay, let's do this. And then he's I don't know. He's a director and an actor at the same time. Maybe him being a director and an actor, maybe Blake Lively just thought that he was trying to take advantage of that role by trying to creep on her. I don't know. I don't know what happened before. Maybe some shit happened before this scene, and she already has a mindset that, oh my God, Justin Baldoni is a creep, and then anything that he does, even though it seems innocuous, it may be seen as creepy behavior. I don't know. But obviously it seems like this to us looks normal. This seems to us maybe looks professional. I mean, we're not in the acting world. We're not in the movie industry, right? But to me, it just seems like, okay, this looks kind of normal. This looks kind of I don't see anything wrong with it. But I don't know what's going on in her fucking mind. Maybe there is something that happened before where everything that he's doing now just seems really creepy. I don't know.
Sebastian, on you. Yeah. We'll just do our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think it should start talking.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Still rolling.
Don't give it to them. They want it. Don't give it to
They
them.
score.
Just
Right.
keep restraint.
Yeah.
Score.
Just do a little bit of restraint.
Ryan, come on back. And the couple by the bar walked towards us across.
So at this point, she's really insistent on the talking thing. Is it because, one, she's trying to take over and direct and she disagrees with how he's directing? Or is it because, two, she feels uncomfortable with him leaning close and then kissing her when it wasn't on the script? Maybe. And that's why she keeps pushing the talking and talking thing. I don't know.
No, your name, sorry. Ponytail lady.
And then
Cross this way. Cross this way. Take your day and cross this way.
I feel so nosy.
I know. And my
noses.
and my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that. And
Yeah.
then
Cut.
just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our nose is big.
Okay, so again, in Justin Baldoni's complaint, when he was talking about the nose job thing, yeah, it sounded really fucking offensive. But then when we see how it happened on the scene, it was like, I mean, they're both joking about it, you know? Maybe she just take it a bit further by saying, you know, the whole rhinoplasty thing, not verbatim, but it seems like they're just joking about it. And honestly, here's what they wrote in the complaint. While on the other hand, Lively accuses Baldoni of making comments about her appearance. On the other hand, she made derogatory comments about Baldoni's appearance, telling him he shouldn't go with rhinoplasty, a nose job, something Baldoni has publicly expressed insecurities about and has discussed in an episode of his podcast, Man Enough, exploring the topic of body dysmorphia. Lively's comment about Baldoni's nose is also captured on camera. Baldoni, rather than write down a list of grievances against Lively, brush it off and move on to the other scene. So I could see him brushing it off. Like, so he's leaning in on her and she's like, oh, it feels really nosy. I don't know if she's just trying to just make fun of him. I don't know if she's just like, you know, she thinks it's funny and she just wanted to say it. I don't know if she felt uncomfortable with him leaning that close, even though they're shooting this. I don't know. But he's also joking with it as well. But I could tell that, like, I don't know, to me, it kind of does look like he's a little bit annoyed because he's just trying to get the scene and then she's like interrupting.
I feel so nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that. And
Yeah.
then
Right. And he's the one who said, my nose is so big first. And then she makes a joke with the whole insurance thing.
Cut.
just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our nose is big.
All right, let's go to the next. I think this is the next take.
So if we're like, oh, we missed some stuff.
Yeah.
They know each other better than that. She's not marrying someone she doesn't know. Would like.
Something else happened that I don't want to share. I feel like both are blowing up things that aren't a big deal. Did you watch Bose's video yesterday? I recommend you guys go check out Bose's video. I watched a lot of content creators covering Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and from like the legal perspective, from the people who do like, you know, celebrity pop culture stuff, and watch Bose's video. I think it's a breath of fresh air.
Lots of red flags. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, there's stuff that we don't know.
All of it.
Yeah. It feels.
Take one step further, Catherine, please. Great, thank you.
Let's start on action. Let's just do everyone celebrated. There's a game going on. On action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People pass.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot she did get her nose done. She did. All right.
Action. Let's just do everyone celebrated. There's a game going on. On action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People passing.
On action, it'll just be celebration. They've just scored. Ready and
Well, let me
lay back.
get your hat in there for a
Lay
second,
back.
and then I'll take it off. Like I'll try to kiss you, and then I'll take it off.
Background.
Great.
I know you wanted the hat.
Yeah, you know I like my hats. Oh, got the sticker. Good.
Is this
Yeah, no, there's no sticker.
And they score! They score!
Sorry, music. I forgot. No, her name is not Bozo. It's Bose. Although she might call her community the Bozos.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting a spray tan on you.
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
And they win! They won!
So I'm gonna go to Blake Lively's lawsuit again. The way that she describes Justin Baldoni, she describes him as a creep. Like out of nowhere, he was just like running his like mouth along her neck, her ear, or something like that. Sorry, I have it up here. I should just pull it up. And that out of nowhere, he says, "It smells so good." He spoke to Miss Lively out of care. Oh, sorry, hold on. This paragraph is actually in reference to this scene. I'm sorry. I think I was talking about the other previous scene. Okay, who broke character first, actually? Let's go back. I think didn't they both break character?
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting spray tan on you.
That smells good.
So she's saying that like he broke character and then he told her that she smelled good. But here's the thing, she has been breaking character in the previous shots. Unless these shots are in sequential. I think they are though. It seems like she was also breaking character. So it wasn't like they were completely professional the entire way. And then all of a sudden he broke character, was like, "Oh, you smell so good." That's just not what happened. So they said that he did not act in character. He spoke to Miss Lively out of character. At one point, he leaned in, slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down her neck and said, "It smells so good." That is not what happened. That's why I'm wondering, does Blake Lively not have access to these footages and she's just recalling it from her memory? If she is, then that could be why there is some indiscrepancy here. But like I said, since she pretty much edited the film per, the Baldoni team, since she edited the film, she probably has access to all these footages and videos. Maybe she didn't go back and look at them when filing this lawsuit. I don't know, but that is just a mischaracterization. He didn't just randomly out of nowhere say, "It smells so good." He was like, "Oh, am I getting beard on you today?" And then she's like, "Oh, you're probably getting like spray tan." And I think he's just like, "Oh, it smells good." I don't know. I don't know if that's creepy. I don't know if that's creepy. But I think what happens is when you're being sexually harassed, small things in the future could be seen as not a big deal unless something happened before where it primed your mind into thinking everything that happens after that seems way more creepier than it really is. Or maybe it is creepy. But like I said, I don't know. Something must have happened before in her mind where she thought Justin Baldoni was already exhibiting creepy behavior or something. Because when we're watching this, we're just like, I mean, it doesn't seem as bad, but we're not in her head. So
I'm probably getting spray tan on you.
That smells good.
Well, it's not bad. It's my body makeup.
And they win.
I think we got plenty.
Yes.
Slow motion. It's going to be a 17-minute reel.
I don't know. Justin Baldoni at the end, like he just looks like he's just over it. I don't know if he's over it because he's annoyed of Blake Lively like talking, or if he's just like, okay, we got the shot, whatever, or if he's over it because he was trying to creep on her and it was not successful. I don't know. Hey, future corgi here. So for this scene, it seems like Justin Baldoni is leaning in for the kiss and he gave her a heads up about this. Maybe he sensed that there was some sort of hesitation from her, or maybe he sensed that she was like kind of like evading it a little bit, even though he was just going for the kiss, not actually landing the kiss like they mentioned. But he does this twirl and then he just ends the shot here. She does her arm flail thing. Honestly, his face, it looks like he's just annoyed and maybe he thinks that she's not cooperating really and he just wants to get it over with and just move on filming the next scene. Or I could just be completely wrong.
Apple, take one. Amber.
Very simple
Emer.
stuff, but then not before I always thought she was badass than that. But there's no
God, these fucking shoes, fucking killer. I'm not saying killer as in like, oh my God, they slay. No, these shoes like, dude, my fucking back hurts just looking at this. My fucking calves are tight right now. Just looking at this.
Set and playback and.
I hate those shoes. I hate those shoes for her character.
I'm gonna let you direct this, okay?
I think he says, I'm not gonna something, I'm gonna let you direct this, okay?
I'm gonna let you direct this, okay?
I'll make you so sure.
If anything, I think this video just shows that things are just misrepresented, in my opinion, on both sides. I think they took things out of context and made things a lot worse than it really is. my thing about Blake Lively is I don't know if she doesn't have, because Justin Baldoni and his team, they obviously viewed this footage, right? I think they could have represented more accurately. Blake Lively, on the other hand, does she not have access to these? She edited the movie. Does her and her team not have access anymore? Is it under Baldoni and his Wayfarer? Like, were they the only ones that have access to the footage just after the fact? Because I don't know if she was just recalling it from memory and then she may have missed some stuff, or if they did have access to it and then they chose to go with the most, I don't know, egregious version of the story, I guess. Like him dragging his mouth down her neck and then just telling her it smells so good. It's not what happened. And then her, when she's like making fun of his like nose, I mean, they were bantering back and forth. I don't know. If anything, I think this video just really shows that we should just wait. Just wait until more stuff comes out. Does this show that she didn't feel like she's being harassed? No, because we kind of have to get in her mindset. And like I said, I don't know if something happened before where she's already primed to thinking anything Justin Baldoni does is really fucking creepy. Or maybe nothing did happen. Maybe nothing did happen. And maybe she just is misrepresenting it. I don't know. I do not know. So this scene, by the way, I pulled up the movie to see if this montage, them talking and all this stuff, if it was included in the movie. Because I do remember there being a romance montage. They only included about 2 to 3 seconds of it. And it was when Justin Baldoni was like slowly, like I think maybe it was like this part. Like this. It was like him leaning towards her and like they were about to kiss or something. And that's it. It was literally just like 2 to 3 seconds. So I wonder if we're going with the narrative that Blake Lively felt Justin Baldoni was sexually harassing her, did she only include 2 to 3 seconds of it because she didn't want to include the whole thing because she thought during the entirety of it she was being sexually harassed by him and she didn't want to have to relive that moment? Is that why she took over directing? Because she wanted to include or she wanted to exclude the scenes where she felt like he was being inappropriate towards her? Is that the narrative that she's going to go with? I don't know. I had to think really hard about that one. I was doing mental gymnastics to really understand from Blake Lively's perspective. Is that what happened? Or did she just want to just take over the movie and she's just lying about everything? The other thing that was in my mind, what else is in my mind? Was there just miscommunications on the set that was never really addressed? Was it that Justin Baldoni would improv things and he was trying to be professional and she felt uncomfortable with it, but she wasn't voicing it to him along the way? And then something that became so small became insidious and it just blew up into a bigger thing that it needed to be. Because it seems like, I don't know, I'm assuming Justin Baldoni felt like he didn't know what was going on. And it wasn't until there was a return to production's paperwork where he was like, oh shit, like, okay, she feels uncomfortable around me? What? That's new to me, right? So I don't know if she felt uncomfortable from the get-go, didn't communicate with him, and it just blew up even more. Maybe it got even bigger, maybe it got even worse as she was venting it to like Ryan Reynolds or maybe her bestie, right? Or like her team, her crew. Were they just not communicating the uncomfortableness to him? Because it's possible that he could have been trying to keep it professional the entire time. But when he was pushing boundaries a little bit, maybe they never addressed it and he just didn't know. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know. We need her to testify. We need to hear from her. There was a part in Blake Lively's lawsuit where she was trying to allege that Justin Baldoni was purposely trying to include uncomfortable and gratuitous scenes. So this would go back to, did Justin Baldoni have a way of doing things that made Blake Lively feel uncomfortable? Maybe he wasn't trying to sexually harass her. Or maybe he wasn't, maybe he just didn't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because now that we're watching this and people are like, well, this doesn't seem like a big deal. It seems like he's being professional. I don't know. Maybe Blake Lively does look uncomfortable. I can't really tell here. Maybe the reason why she wants to keep talking and talking is because she wants to either take over directing or she feels uncomfortable with him coming, like trying to kiss her or like caressing her or stuff like that with his nose. Like, I don't know. There's too many I don't knows out there. Too many I don't knows. Didn't she claim she asked him to stop? I honestly can't remember. She said that she later objected to his behavior, but Baldoni's response was, I'm not even attracted to you. I need more context about that. I don't know if he addressed that in his lawsuit. I don't think so. So Baldoni was caressing Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. I mean, he could have been improving. He could have been like, hey, I thought this looked better for the scene. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, I'm not even attracted to you. So I don't think he addressed this part of it. Going back to the Lively lawsuit, page 53. Do I have the wrong? Yeah, there was a part in Blake Lively's lawsuit where, she's accusing Baldoni of insisting Lively do uncomfortable or gratuitous scenes. I mean, I wonder if Baldoni was trying to keep it professional and he had his vision and way of doing things that she didn't like, and maybe she took it as, he's trying to be creepy. He's trying to take advantage as his dual role as an actor and a director. Maybe it is awkward to direct and act at the same time. But, I mean, how many times have we seen an actor also be the director of a movie? I don't know. I think what we need to hear from is, what did other people think? Did other people also have the same sentiment that he was trying to be creepy? Or did people think that he was being professional and he just had a vision for the movie? I don't know. There's a lot of questions, but I don't know. We're slowly trying to figure out what's going on, but I think it's really hard too. Even though we have 180 pages complaint here, another 111 complaint here, and we have this 12-minute video, I think we're barely even scratching the surface. You think if Blake dropped her suit that he might drop his? I don't know if he would. I don't know. It depends on what really happened. Depends on if she is falsely accusing him of things. Or if he's like, yeah, I was being a little bit creepy. You know what? Maybe I'll just drop it. Maybe I was being a little bit creepy. I don't know if he would. I have no idea. I don't know what happened. But I think it's okay to wait. And, we're just basically just on the sidelines watching this firestorm happening in front of us. But people were like, well, maybe Blake Lively didn't expect Justin Baldoni to retaliate and leak all this evidence. I'm like, but if Blake Lively truly, genuinely believes that Justin Baldoni and his team sabotaged her, went through this whole PR thing, completely destroyed her reputation, it's like, I'm not sure that she would think that he wouldn't retaliate. I'm sure she knew that he would respond back. And especially if he has possessions of these clips, that he would show the receipts, right? So I think we can wait and see what happens. But I can see why Justin Baldoni wants to get ahead of this now, because you don't want to wait a couple years down the road for a trial to happen and maybe clear your name if you're innocent. What are you doing playing in a role like this? That's why I don't know, I'm very curious about people who are in the movie industry, people who are like actors and actresses, right? How much of improv is okay when you're doing semi-romantic or full-blown romantic sex scenes? I thought, I don't know, I assume people just did improv. What seems like normal professional interactions to us may to her not be, because maybe something happened before this. I don't know, maybe there's already drama happening on the set, but the way that they are talking with each other, the way that, I don't know, it seems like they joke around a lot, they're kind of silly with each other. There are times where I'm like, did she feel uncomfortable at that instance? Was she pulling back a little bit? I don't know. It kind of looked like that, but I wasn't really sure. Melissa says, I've been uncomfortable with people and just try to be normal and laugh stuff off. We don't know what's actually going on from just this. Yeah, I agree with you, Melissa. I agree with you. Because there are times where I'll feel uncomfortable with someone, but people from the outside won't be able to tell, right? Or you'll text someone, you'll phone call someone, you'll have a conversation with them, and you'll just try to act like everything's fine, everything's cool. So that's why I'm saying that I think it's okay for us to just keep waiting and just see what really unfolds. I think to pick sides right now and to be tugged back and forth mentally, I think that might be very, very draining. So like I said, I'm just being the nosy neighbor with the vacuum, just vacuuming the sidewalk, seeing what's going on with the neighbors, why are they fighting over there? But I mean, this is serious stuff though, because the allegations that she has made against him you know, especially with the persona that he's built up, his business, all that stuff. Him having these like sexual harassment allegations, that really fucked his reputation. That can really tarnish it moving forward, because his brand is that he is someone who is, you know, an ally of women, right? And he's had this podcast. He's done like TED Talks. I think I haven't seen his TED Talks yet, though. Someone mentioned for me to go watch it. I haven't listened to it yet, but I don't know. I know why people want to jump on this and just like be like, oh my God, I'm completely team blah blah blah. But I think it's okay that we can just wait. But you know, it's up to you guys. Up to you guys. That's about it. I don't know. Like, I saw this in someone else's chat. Someone said that, did Blake Lively request for the dailies so she can get evidence that he was being creepy? I don't know. I was like, oh, that's a good point. Because remember, there's some point where Blake Lively was, you know, she decided to take over wardrobe. Okay, fine. She decided to rewrite some of people's scripts or her script or something like that. And then she started asking for the dailies. And Justin Baldoni and his team didn't want to give it to her because, you know, she's an actress. She's not a fucking director. And so it would be interesting. Why did she want the dailies? Did she want the dailies because she wanted to take over the directing part? Did she want the dailies because she wanted to document the parts where he was being, you know, I guess like he was like sexually harassing her, maybe? I don't know. But that was a chat message that I saw that I thought was interesting. In a statement following the release of the footage, Lively's team says that every frame of the release footage corroborates to the letter what Lively included in her lawsuit filed on December 20th. Justin Baldoni and his lawyer may hope that this latest stunt will get ahead of damaging evidence against him, but the video itself is damning. The video shows Mr. Baldoni repeatedly leaning in. Hey, Claudia, how are you doing today? Claudia, thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe he said the nose thing because she felt fat shame, and he wants to point out that she was willing to joke with body shaming him. I think when she made the comment about, oh, it's a little too nosy, I think he probably felt maybe annoyed, and as a defense mechanism, he's like, oh yeah, like I have a big nose. And then she continued on saying like the whole nose job thing. So I'm not saying that like he didn't feel totally comfortable with her comment. He was probably just trying to deflect and move on, but then she kind of kept going. But to her, she could say that, oh, well, he was joking and bantering back and forth with me about the nose thing. Justin Baldoni's lawyer may hope that this latest stunt will get ahead of the damning evidence against him, but the video itself is damning, Lively's legal team said in their statement. The video shows Mr. Baldoni repeatedly leaning in towards Miss Lively, attempting to kiss her, kissing her forehead, rubbing his face and mouth against her neck, flickering her lip with his thumb, caressing her and telling her how good she smells. Oh my God, who was doing the fucking statement? Come on. How good it smells thing was a banter between the two of them. It wasn't just out of nowhere, like how they said in their lawsuit. God, they have to be really careful with how they respond to this. Ah, jeez. Every moment of this was improvised from Mr. Baldoni with no discussion or consent in advance and no intimacy coordinator present. That's why I was wondering, what do they usually do? What is common practice when you have this type of acting on the set? I don't know. So maybe it is common practice, and maybe it is widely known that you have to discuss it ahead of time. There's no improvisation to be done. And maybe you do have to have an intimacy coordinator present. Was Baldoni trying to be creepy? Was Baldoni trying to just do what he thought was best for the scene at the time? Does Baldoni just lack experience because he's like kind of new to the director/directing? I don't know. I think he's directed like 2 other movies though, right? But I don't know they're romance movies though. They also mentioned that Baldoni was in a position of power as the film's director and Lively's boss. The video shows Miss Lively leaning away, repeatedly asking for characters to just talk. Any woman who had been inappropriately touched in the workplace will recognize Miss Lively's discomfort. They will recognize her attempts at levity and try to deflect the unwanted touching. Yeah, that was the part that I could see her trying to say. So it's like, okay, where she's just trying to say, let's talk instead of you trying to kiss me and touch me and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, jeez. Because I don't know if he was just, it just didn't seem like he was doing it because he was trying to be creepy. It just seems like he just did it because he just thought it was best for the scene. But maybe that is crossing a line. No woman should have to take a defensive measure to avoid being touched by their employer without their consent. This matter is in active litigation, federal court. Releasing this video to the media rather than presenting it as evidence in court is another example of unethical attempt to manipulate the public. It is also a continuation of their harassment and retaliatory campaign. So I think the first half of their statement sucks, but I think the second half a lot better. This part right here, where it says like, oh, the reason why she just wanted to talk because she felt uncomfortable. And, you know, Baldoni was the one who was like, kept like, you know, trying to inappropriately touch her, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. When we're watching the scene, it just seems like it seems like he was being professional and she just kept talking. I don't know. But, or a broken record at this point. In Justin Baldoni's complaint, he talks about how Blake Lively also did improv as well in like a kissing scene or some sort. So I'm assuming they are probably going to be dropping that at some point to show that, hey, you know, improv happened on both sides, maybe. I don't know, maybe. 91. Moreover, it was Lively who engaged in unchoreographed kissing scenes. One scene, again captured on camera, exhibits Lively pulling Baldoni in to kiss her. It is clear Lively was initiating unchoreographed kissing. So we would need to see the script, I guess, and then see the footage of that. In one take, she pulled Baldoni in and kissed him once. In another, the number of kisses, entirely initiated by Lively, changed at her whim. Baldoni, as a professional actor who, among other roles, played the lead's love interest in television's Jane the Virgin for 5 years, 100 episodes, is like most actors, accustomed to rehearsing or filming scenes multiple times, often with variations, without needing permission while in character. So that's why I'm wondering if Justin Baldoni's experience was different than how Blake Lively does things. Because it seems like with Justin Baldoni, improvisations may be okay, and you don't really need permission for every little variation that's going to happen. However, maybe in Blake Lively, maybe in her experience, you're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to. But I don't know. They're saying that she did engage in improvisation as well. While Lively now takes issue with any innocuous improvisation, Baldoni, as Ryo, may have allegedly initiated while in character. Baldoni treated the relationship on camera as professional, each playing their part, each doing their job. No one was supposed to improvise. Baldoni would have no way of knowing based on Lively's own actions. That's why I was like, is there just no communication happening between the two of them? Was it getting worse on one side to the point where, hey, you know what? During this whole strike, did she vent to other people? And then they were like, holy shit, that's actually not okay. And then she's like, really? It's not okay? Okay, I was thinking it was not okay, but like, you know what? Now I understand. It really isn't okay. So now I'm not going to return to production unless he agrees to these sets of rules, right? So I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if she was trying to get the dailies to try to show that like, hey, you know, this happened. Is this okay? And like, maybe she was trying to consult back with her team. If Lively was not supposed to improvise, Baldoni would have no way of knowing based on her actions. Lively demonstrated again and again that this was normal and acceptable part of filming romantic scenes. So I don't know if there's just like a lack of communication or something. Blake Lively plays in a lot of romance movies where she's like the love interest and stuff like that. Justin Baldoni, I know he directed other movies. I don't know if he was also a director and the actor. I don't think so, right? I think he was just a director. But those movies, I don't think they were romance movies. So I just wonder if there was just like a way of doing things that Justin Baldoni didn't know because on his past experience on previous sets, maybe they did things a certain way that's different than Blake Lively. The Town. Oh my God, that movie was so bad. I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure I hated that movie.